timer, counter, or countdown. Have you ever wondered how to use these in DaVinci Resolve? Well, I'm going to show you how to use timer or counters in DaVinci Resolve. First thing first, I already have a clip right here. I got a man riding on a bike. So if you want to add a timer, we are going to use Test Plus. So to use Test Plus, you already know this if you have watched some of my previous videos. Head on to the left side, select Effects, head on to the titles, and select Text Plus. Drag that down to the clip on your timeline. Select the Text Plus, head over to the inspector, video, title, text, and in your text box, right click on your text box, select time code, and that's it. You got a timer. Okay, just like you would customize your text, you can customize your time code exactly the same way. Okay, so let's go to layout. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, the colors and the background is kind of similar, so let's change that color. Let's say maybe green. I don't know if it, no, let's make it bright green. Okay, so let's add a little shade to it. You don't have to do all of this, but sometimes I prefer to make it pop out a little bit. Okay, so again, just like you will customize your text, the same way you could customize your time code, exactly the same thing. Okay, so, and you could expand your time as well. For example, let's say the time ends at 4. This is 4 seconds, 15 frames. Okay, so this is a frame, this is a second, this is the minute, and this is the hour. Okay, so let's say it ends right here at 15 seconds. If you extend this, the timer is also going to increase as well. Now it's at 5 seconds and a couple of frames. And also, just to let you know, unless you want your timer to go negative, do not extend it from the beginning, because if you extend it from the beginning, it's going to go negative. Okay, so unless you want your timer to go negative, do not extend it from the beginning. So let's put it right back. Just be aware of that. Okay, so always try to extend it from the end, so that way your time goes forward. Okay, so now let's head back to the text. Okay, so what if you don't want the frame, or you don't want the minute, or you don't want the hour, or the second? Let's say you don't want the frames. What we could do is on the inspector side, select this sign right here. And when you do select the sign, it's going to take you to Fusion, but you're also going to have this inspector on the right hand side. Okay, so normally you don't have this when you go to Fusion, but if you select that symbol right there, you're going to have this inspector side. Okay, so now all you have to do is unselect the frames, or the minute, or the seconds, or the hour. Okay, so let's say I don't want the frames, and also I don't want the hour. So we unselect the hours and we unselect the frames. So now we have seconds and we have minutes. When you look down here, you also have the seconds and you have the minutes. So that's a way to customize it as well. Okay, so let's head back to edit. So that's how to add timer in your videos. So we have learned how to use timer, but what about how to use counters? We might be counting dollars, we might be counting any sign that we want. Okay, so let's get to that. All right, so for this one, we are going to be using Fusion. So we are going to head to the media pool and right click around this area and select new Fusion composition and name this whatever we like. Since I'm going to create a counter, I'm going to name this a counter and select create. Okay, so now we have this Fusion in our media pool. So I'm going to drag this down to our timeline and I'm going to give it a click and I'm going to select the counter. Now we could head to Fusion. So we are going to select Fusion and we are going to head into the Fusion page. Okay, so I'm going to create a simple background and we are going to use this to demonstrate how we can add this to our workflow. Okay, so let me change the colors of the background. I'm not going to do anything too complicated, so let's choose this color right here. Okay, and I'm going to connect this background to the media out. So I'm going to select the background, and then I'm going to add the merge node. We are going to be working with the text node. Okay. All right. Okay, so next we are going to create a new parameter with counter. Okay, so we are going to add a counter control in the inspector side. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. So in order to do that, we are going to right click on text node, and we are going to edit controls. Actually, we are creating a new control. So in this control, we can name it whatever, but since we are trying to create a counter, let's call it counter. You could call it whatever you choose. So counter is what I'm going to name this, and it is number. So we are going to leave the type as a number, because we have number, we have points, and we have text. So since we are dealing with numbers, we are going to use numbers. So for the page, we are going to select our text on the page. So now the next thing we're trying to do is to create the range, and my range is going to be from 0 to 20,000. I'm going to put 20,000 just to be on the safe side, and it's not too small, not too big. Now you could play with the integers if you choose to. Now, because we're dealing with the numbers, slide control is the best, because slide control is the easiest. I say use slide control. That'll be perfect for this. Okay, now you could add more details to your customization, but this is the least you could do for the counters. Okay, so we have made the necessary edit that we need, so we're going to hit OK. Now when you head to inspector and you go down below advanced control, the very parameter that you created is now added to your inspector. So now in order to bring it up in the text box, right click this and hit expression, and you could drag this by selecting the plus and dragging this to the counter. So now the counter is connected to the text plus, and also you could customize this counter just like you could customize your text. So I want this a bit bigger, so I'm gonna make it a bit bigger just so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna put extra bold. Okay, so now you could go from 0 to 20,000. Okay, it could be any number, and you could also animate this just like you could animate any other customization. That's how you could add counter to your clips. Also, if you want to add a symbol like a dollar symbol, or you could put whatever symbol that you're trying to put. If you're trying to put it before the number, you're gonna put that parenthesis, you put the symbol that you're trying to put. Let's say you're trying to put dollar sign, you put dollar, close the parenthesis, now put 2 dots. So now if you go up and down, you now have the dollar sign as part of your counters. Okay, so if you're trying to add it at the end, you just simply reverse the case. Okay, so you simply add the dot first, 2 dots, put your parentheses, put your dollars, close your parentheses, and you've effectively added it at the end as well. I've shown you how to add your timer, and I've also shown you how to add a counter. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you will never miss out on our latest content, tutorial and tips. We greatly appreciate your support, and it motivates us to keep creating valuable videos for you. So go ahead, hit that like button and click the subscribe button to join our community. Thank you for your support.